Morgan Rogers open to Arsenal switch, but key issue emerges for Mikel Arteta. Morgan Rogers is of big interest to Arsenal, and Football.London got the lowdown from the Aston Villa perspective on a potential move. Arsenal are interested in signing Morgan Rogers this summer from Aston Villa, and the club are expected to pursue a move for the player. Football.London understands. Mikel Arteta views the England midfielder as a potential game-changer for his side's attacking options, but any more will be expensive. Sporting director Andrea Berta is leading the club's transfer market strategy, which has hopes of adding far more than just the England midfielder. However, much of the discussion around Rogers has centred on what role he might play, and whether there remain concerns from some of his inconsistencies during his time in the West Midlands. As a result, Football.London caught up with Aston Villa club writer for Birmingham Live, John Townley, and put several questions to the reporter to get the lay of the land, insight on Rogers' role, and the state of a potential transfer move. Arsenal are keen on Rogers, particularly to play on their left flank, effectively as a counterpart to Bukayosaka. Having watched him closely at Villa, what do you make of this idea? How has he been used there under Unai Emery, and does it make sense? Rogers' versatility is one of his biggest strengths. He is most effective off the left or centrally in a number 10 role, but he can also operate on the right or even as a striker. That flexibility is key for Emery, allowing Villa to keep opponents guessing and to adjust their approach during games. He's not a traditional wide player like Saka, so if he plays from the left back would need to provide width and hug the touchline to create space for him. Rogers carries the ball well and is a powerful runner, although this is less evident when teams sit deep. He's also effective in tight spaces, but can drift in and out of games. It was suggested that Rogers' season tailed off in the second half of the campaign until its climax. Is that a fair assessment, or is there more nuance? That inconsistency is part of the package with Rogers. He can win a game out of nothing, but can also flatter to deceive, either by becoming detached from the game or lacking quality in key moments. That's not unusual for creative players. Over a full season, though, he will make his mark with goals and assists. One important factor is his workload. He played 3,285 league minutes, the most of any Villa player. He looked tired towards the end of the campaign, although his poorest spell actually came at the start of the season. At one point, a minority of fans sarcastically cheered him for completing a pass during Villa's first win against Bologna. Emery kept faith with him through that difficult period, and Rogers went on to enjoy an excellent middle third of the season. In terms of his overall style, what kind of player is Rogers? What are his strengths? And where does he need to improve, especially if he were to work under Arteta, where defensive contribution is crucial? He's a physically powerful player, but also intelligent in how he uses that strength. Having worked under Pep Guardiola, and now Emery, he has developed strong tactical awareness, which has helped him adapt quickly. He's capable of scoring spectacular goals, as he showed against Tottenham, West Ham, and Manchester United last season. He has all the attributes, but consistency remains the key issue. Over time, you expect goals, moments of quality, and availability, but not necessarily every week. If he could deliver that consistently, he would be among the best players in the league. While talk of a move is still in its early stages, what would you expect financially? Are Villa under any pressure to sell in order to reinvest? Rogers would be open to a move, given that Arsenal could offer higher wages and a chance to compete for the league title. Put simply, if Arsenal meet Villa's valuation, a deal would likely happen. However, Villa are not under immediate pressure to sell. They have other assets which they could move if needed. That said, financial constraints mean they cannot ignore substantial offers, particularly those exceeding £100 million. Based on the market and comparable transfers, Villa would demand a significant fee. Rodgers has also signed to new contracts in the past 2 years and is tied to the club until 2031. Arsenal are hopeful that Declan Rice and the Gunners' stars fellow England internationals can help persuade Morgan Rodgers to seal a transfer to the Emirates Stadium this summer. Mikel Arteta's side are huge admirers of the Aston Villa playmaker and have made landing the 23-year-old a top priority. The Daily Mail claims the Gunners are enlisting their 3 Lion stars to convince their international teammates to link up with the Premier League champions. It's understood both Arsenal and Chelsea would be prepared to negotiate a deal in the region of £85 million, with Villa needing to offload players in order to meet financial regulations. That said, Unai Emery's side have made abundantly clear that Rodgers remains central to their plans ahead of their Champions League return. Villa are reportedly conscious of the soaring cost of midfielders in today's market and must also factor in a 20% sell-on fee agreed with Middlesbrough as part of his original move to Villa Park. According to the reports, Rodgers is receptive to a switch to the Emirates Stadium and is keen to hear what the Premier League champions have to put on the table. Rice has reportedly been working his magic on international duty at the World Cup, while Bukayosaka, Eberechiez and Noni Madueke are also in the England camp. Arteta is said to be targeting 4 or 5 high-quality signings this summer as the Gunners look to go one better next season and lift the Champions League trophy. Rodgers sits at the top of Arsenal's transfer wishlist, with Atletico Madrid forward Julian Alvarez also firmly on the Gunners' radar. Sporting director Andrea Berta has a strong familiarity with the Argentinian striker, having personally secured his signature at Atleti from Manchester City. Arsenal have additionally been offered Club Brugge winger Christos Zolis, while Alex Scott has also emerged as a target for the North London club. The Gunners will need to offload players of their own to find their transfer business, with Gabriel Jesus, Leandro Trossard and Gabriel Martinelli all linked with departures from the club. There's also question marks over Ethan Nwanery's future at the club, while Christian Norgard and Piero Hincapié are also reportedly attracting interest.